And we got a game. Welcome back. This is Garrett for Sableye the Mind Sculptor. And we are going to be playing a game with the white-black enchantment deck that got deck teched earlier on this channel. This hand's keepable. It's really bad, but it's keepable. I'd mulled more action if I knew I was facing an aggro deck, but... Oh, there's a mountain, so that's a pretty bad sign for me. It could still be like red-green Delirium Ramp or Teamer Emerge though, so I'm not entirely worried. If it is a Teamer Emerge deck, Stasis Snare is pretty good against them. Yeah, so a second mountain. I don't know. We'll see if there's a forest coming. There's a third mountain, so I'm pretty sure he's in mono red. Handwear Garrison. So I've made this deck. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm just going to assume this is some sort of melds deck then. Like mono red melds maybe? Or red black melds? I don't know. When I see Handwear Garrison, I assume that Handwear Battlements is in the deck. There is a Plains. And Nahiri? What? That's not... No. That's not okay. Nahiri is like the least okay of all of the cards from my deck. She's just so good against me. I think we just have to cast Ironclad Slayer to pressure the Nahiri. She's so good though. Geez. I'll definitely be bringing in some removal for her. Why is he even playing Nahiri, man? I'm slightly annoyed, if you couldn't tell. And he has a Galvanic Bombardment. Loots with Nahiri. Madness is a Fiery Temper. So I'm pretty sure my opponent just has the nuts at this point. Because I'm going to catch smackdowns really hard here too with these humans. I can't let him get tokens like that. It's really good. I may have already just lost this game at this point. I don't even know if there's much point in playing it out. Like, god damn. I've got no way to deal with that Nahiri until I get onto like 8 mana and I can cast Sigil and something else. Yeah, I'm not gonna concede because I'm on... No, I am gonna concede, I lied. I've got no way out from under this. Okay, so what'd we learn? We need Anguished Unmaking. And I could take in maybe a few Virulent Plague in case he's actually a tokens deck. I think I'm taking in 2 though because I'm not really sure he's a tokens deck. And then we're going to be taking out some, then I'll take in a Stasis Snare. Take out a Deadweight because he doesn't look like a deck that's going to get deadweighted down very easily. I'll keep 1 in though. Trim Pacifism, both my Bound by Moon Silvers. Retreat Jumeria doesn't seem very good either. So let's run it back. Yeah, that was really bad. Nahiri is so good against us. She is like the natural predator for our deck. I think I have to keep this. This is a pretty good hand for our deck, honestly. It doesn't have any way to beat Nahiri, that's why I was hesitant. But he might not have the Nahiri, right? And I might draw into it, right? I don't know. I've only got 4 cards in the deck that beat her. So, it's kind of awkward. There's a Quarry. And I'm just going to cast my Virulent Plague right now, so I don't have to worry about casting it later. And then next turn I'm going to go Ironclad Slayer if he just does nothing. Ironclad Slayer is nice because it can kill a Nahiri if he chooses to minus her down. So it's big enough to actually kill Nahiri. And as long as he doesn't resolve another creature, well, I'm probably going to get my Ironclad Slayer burnt out here end of turn. Or not end of turn. It doesn't really matter. I'm not doing anything on my 1 mana anyway. Well, let's see if he just goes straight into a Nahiri. Well, tap land, so it's at least going to take him a turn to go Nahiri. I'm pretty resigned to getting Nahiri at this point, as you might be able to tell. She's extra bad because she exiles. She doesn't even destroy. She's just like, no. Talia's Lancers. Interesting. Let's see what he fetches. Archangel Avacyn. Great. So let's say no to the Lancer. And Starfield of Nyx. I'm getting near the 5 to actually have it active too. So as long as he doesn't get Anahiri, I'm doing fine. It looks like Virulent Plague was probably not a great choice to bring in, because he hasn't shown me anything that would indicate he's on tokens. He could, of course, win this game back at any point by casting Nahiri. But I assume he's going to go for Archangel Avacyn here. Or he's going to go for something. Let's see what he does. I can't say that I'm ready to predict this man. I don't know if the Painland actually reveals that he's got an Eldrazi hidden somewhere in his deck. I don't think it does. So I can take 4 damage off of an Archangel Avacyn. So I'm just going to play Sigil of the Empty Throne here and not worry about stasis snaring the Avacyn at the when he casts it end of my turn. Because 1 4 damage hit off of Avacyn doesn't scare me that much at this point. If he wins, it's going to be because he casts the Nahiri and just wrecks my face with it. Even with Nahiri, I'm actually starting to get to the point where I can have my enchantments animated, which means that I can kill the Nahiri. I'd need 2 more enchantments, and he'd get rid of 1. I need 1 more enchantment. I mean, 2 overall, though, considering that he'd exile 1 to have them animated. The other issue is he'd probably exile my Starfield of Nyx, now that I think about it. So, thing is, if he exiles Starfield of Nyx, I still have Sigil, and if he exiles Sigil, I still have Starfield. So, and Collective Effort. That's a card that I really dislike, just because it doesn't... It's enchantment hate, but it's not enchantment hate, like... It's not necessarily enchantment hate. It doesn't have to hate on enchantments. So, like, it beats enchantments, but that's not really its main purpose in most of the decks that it's in. It just also does that. Sadly, my angels are 2/2s from my own Virulent Plague here, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not awful. The fact that I'm getting them at all is really the important part. It's having a way to win in my deck, not really... It's that the deck has a way to win that's important. Not necessarily that it's a great, immediate, like, insane way to win. One of the annoying things, though, is that it does bring my angels within range of my own flying tendrils. Right now, it looks like the game's going my way. Again, anytime he could draw Nahiri and turn this back in his favor. Although, right now, Nahiri would not be enough to swing the game, because I have a 2/2 that can kill it. Nice. Nice. It looks like I have the kind of game state control at this point. Let's go to attacks and just see what trap I'm going to get hit with now that I've said that I have control of the game. No blocks. Well, I'm just going to pass the turn back to him then. All my stuff right now is at flash speed. So he's going to Fiery Temper me. And Fiery Temper me. This is starting to get dangerous, for sure. And Galvanic Bombardment. His own Archangel Avacyn to kill it. Sure. You can do that. Actually, wait, that only did 3 damage. Why did he do that? First, why does a red-white deck need cards in its graveyard? And second, why would he do it non-lethally? Maybe he meant to go after my angel. So why didn't Avacyn die? 'Cause it did 3 damage and she has 4 toughness. Did 3 damage and she has 4 toughness. I'm gonna tell him to make sure he knows you can still cast a second Avacyn. It will just kill the first one. I don't know who knows this. I'm new to Galvanic Bombardment. Fair enough. I mean, I'm pretty sure he knows that he can cast his next Avacyn, I think. But I just can't think of any other reason he'd want it dead. And he goes to end, so I'm gonna get rid of his Avacyn for him. And there's an Anguished Unmaking, which is great, because it means I don't have to worry so much about Nahiri. And let's just pound in for 2 again. And he takes it down to 15. I'm going to plan on stasis snaring his Needle Spires. He's tapping a lot of land. Bruna, the Fading Light. So that's why he needed Avacyn in his yard, I assume. Does he have anything to get back with it? Nope. Okay. Goes to ends, and I'm gonna... Wait, I should have just Choking Restraints on my turn. That was silly of me. Because now he actually has a Needle Spires to attack with. Well, I guess I still have Anguished Unmaking. Well, no, it's still a land. What am I thinking? Well, I'll bring him down a little bit. Wait, no, I should have... Oh, man, I should have held back for blocks. That was especially dumb. Now I just can't cast my Anguished Unmaking if he decides to boost up his Needle Spires, which I don't see him not doing unless his last card is some huge bomb. Draws a card. It's a land. Assume this is just him animating the Needle Spires. Yep. Oh, that was dumb of me. Well, I could just lose to a Needle Spires now. Okay, that's good. Another Stasis Snare. I mean, I feel like I'm winning off of the back of Stasis Snare now, but I kind of am, so... I'm happy. I have it in my deck. I put it in as a 4-off, so I guess I can rely on drawing it at least some of the time. And pin down that Thraben Inspector. Get in for 4. And is he about to... No, okay. I was afraid for a second he was going to flash in an Avacyn. At which point I would have to waste my Stasis Snare and then just block it out with Angels. Declaration in Stone. Sure. Buffs up Needle Spires. Stasis Snare. Sorry, guy. So that's Needle Spires down. I'll get a Plains. So if I hit him for 2 this turn, he'll be at 5. And then if I hit him for... Okay, I'm just trying to calculate whether I should cast this second Choking Restraints on his Thraben Inspector. Well, here, let's go to attacks. Bring him to 5. He's now on a 3-turn clock, effectively. And he's deciding whether or not to burn out my Angel token. Ooh, Galvanic Bombardment. That's kind of rough. Well, now I think... Well, the issue is that Anguished Unmaking isn't really a removal spell right now. So if I double Choking Restraints on that Thraben Inspector, it does put the onus on me to draw another removal spell or lose, basically. If he gets a creature. But he has 0 cards in hand. So the other side of that coin is that he does need to get an answer within 3 turns for it. I think I'm just going to wait, though. Well, actually, I probably needed to cast it just because if he gets a burn spell, I lose instantly. Okay, Gisela the Broken Blade. So, if I don't draw a removal spell off the top right now, then I made the right decision. Yeah, okay, so I was actually doing this correctly, it looks like. For a second there, it almost looked like I knew what I was doing. And that's going to cause Gisela not to be an issue. Any burn spell also wins right now. And Nahiri probably just wins too. Because he can get back his Bruna, which is huge. Okay. Myth realized. 1 turn clock. Sadly, it will have summoning sickness if I animate it right now. I'm going to make him just so he can be sad. Oh, wait, Virulent Plague. Really? Oh, no, I did it when he had no toughness. That was stupid. I mean, like, I legitimately might have just gambled away the game for no reason. Well, I guess he's still in the same clock as he would be anyway. He still just has to draw, like, a flying blocker or he loses. But that was a really poor decision on my part. I mean, I've been playing with that card, like, ever since I made this deck. I should know how it works. Okay, so that was close. Linvala in, and Virulent Plague was way worse for me than him. It's coming out. Anything else I need to change? I think probably the 2 of the Flaying Tendrils. Well, no, I don't even. I think, well, see, I need the Flaying Tendrils for if he starts taking over the game with a, there we go. If we're running it back like this. If he starts taking over the game with a Hanwar Garrison, I would need the Flaying Tendrils to get back in at all. But I'm just going to have to worry about locking down the Hanwar Garrison, and I only took out 2. I didn't take out all of them, so this should be fine. This is really good against our opponent's deck, actually. This has everything we need. It has a Stasis Snare, and a Choking Restraints, and Linvala. So, and there's a Bound by Moonsilver. So we do have the answers to any creature he chooses to run out there. And we also have an Ironclad Slayer to deal with his Planeswalker that deals with us. Oh, looking like game 1. Except this time, I know that he has her in his deck, so I can wait and play Stasis Snare? No. No, that logic doesn't work. I just have to choke and restraints him and hope that he doesn't have Nahiri. Gryreach Sanitarium. I probably just scoop to a Nahiri at this point. Okay, Gisela. That's much more reasonable for us to deal with. I kind of wish I'd drawn a land there, since I would like to get to Linvala land eventually. Although it doesn't necessarily have to be soon. I will. Bound by Moonsilver, that's Gisela. Send him back to turn. I don't even know why I kept this last deadweight in. I feel like that was probably a mistake. I don't think he has anything that dies to it. Like, it can be annoying, but I don't think he has anything that dies to it. Anguished Unmaking is nice. It does give us an out to Nahiri. Do I even cast the Ironclad Slayer? I think I do. I think I have to put pressure on him in some way. Although I'm probably just giving him something to target with his Galvanic Bombardment. And he's just going to loot with Gryreach. Let's pitch the Tendrils. And then I wanted to keep the land because I really do need to get to Linvala eventually. And he's just going to Madness a Fiery Temper, targeting me or my Ironclad Slayer. If he... Okay. So he's just going to shoot down the Ironclad Slayer. That could mean he has a Nahiri that he wanted to play safely. I'm hoping it doesn't. Thraben Inspector. Okay. Cracks his clue. Looking to make land drops, I assume. Plains. So, I did ask what card in his deck Deadweight could hit, and he happily provided me a target for it. Now, I'm going to go Ironclad Slayer. Returning Deadweight. And send him back the turn. 2 more lands, and I get Linvala, which is huge against his deck. He doesn't really have very many good ways to deal with it. There's a Thalia's Lancers. Getting him. Drum roll, drum roll. I'm not going to make the noise. I think that was more annoying than anything else. What you got for me, opponent? Thalia, Heretic, Cathar. Interesting choice. He did pick something that died to Deadweight, which is a mistake in my opinion. Let's just pacify those Lancers. This is probably getting annoying for him at this point. Personally, I know I would be annoyed by this. The thing that really makes this salt-inducing more than anything else, though, is that they have to look at the creatures. They're still just sitting there. They don't even, like, leave the battlefield, which would make it a little bit better. There's Thalia. And a Thraben Inspector. They stay there, just unable to do anything. So, let's kill Thalia. Undo, undo. Get in on him for 3. I assume no blocks. No reason to just throw away the Thraben Inspector. Although, I am going to pick up that Deadweight again, which makes his Thraben Inspector way worse. This game has pretty much gone the best that it possibly could. So, yeah. And he cracks his clue. I'm pretty sure Nahiri just doesn't save him right now. Well, I have Anguished Unmaking. Even without Anguished Unmaking, though, even if those were just like 2 more Stasis Snare or something, Nahiri wouldn't save him. Because I just have enough massive creatures to punch through if he decides to exile an enchantment. And I have enough enchantments that I can get rid of any creatures he decides to save. This is going to be... What could he have here that would win him? What is the worst case scenario for me? Collective effort freeing up Hand War Garrison, maybe? Or collective effort freeing up Gisela is actually way worse, I think. Because I just block one of the tokens, snare the garrison, and be fine. Yeah. Well, we'll see what he does. Collective effort freeing Gisela. And he didn't choose to give her a +1/+1 counter, which is kind of weird. Could have just tapped the Thraben Inspector and done that, but I don't know. Whatever. And then, does he have another collective effort? That'd be bad. Well, if he did, he would have freed up his Lancers to attack, probably. So, well, just the fact that they have to watch their creatures being trapped is funny. It is kind of annoying that, they get the opportunity to squirm out from under it because of that. Gonna kill the Thraben Inspector. Attack for 6. Bombardment's down one of them, takes 3. Goes to 15. And I'll just send him back the turn. Stasis near him if he goes to attacks. And Gisela. And then, does he have another threat for me to deal with? And Bruna. What can he get back? Like a Thraben Inspector? Oh, Thalia. Okay. Get yourself a Thalia. Planes. So that puts me in Linvala range. Actually, like the synergy with this deck in Linvala is really cool because their creatures don't go away, so you almost always get the token off of her. I'm actually ahead life right now, so I'm going to Anguished Unmake Bruna, and then just send him back the turn. And then next turn, I can Linvala for life gain. If he swings in with Thalia, I'm just going to swing in with Ironclad Slayer next turn. So, it's not a big deal. It is kind of annoying that my Linvala is going to enter tapped if I don't kill off that Thalia, though. Nahiri. Well, that's unfortunate. So I assume Nahiri's the Stasis Snare, getting back Gisela. Okay, this is fine. The thing is, I still have Linvala in hand that he has to deal with. And Declaration and Stone my Ironclad Slayer. He should have waited for my turn to do that, because I was definitely planning on, planes. I was definitely planning on, just getting rid of his Gisela with my Anguished Unmaking and swinging on Nahiri. And if I Anguished Unmade Gisela and then he, decked my, wait, Declaration and Stone's not an instant. Forget what I'm saying. Okay, so how do I fight back from this? I think I have to take off a turn to get rid of... Well, does that put me in death range? It does. I can't use Anguished Unmaking right now. I just have to Linvala then? I mean, like, have to. I don't have any other option, really. I have to Linvala this turn. Gain my life, get my dudes, get my dude. Sadly, they enter tapped, so that sucks. And he's just going to get in for 7 on me. But, oh man, and here he could minus to kill Linvala too. That'd suck. He'd just sack Nahiri to kill Linvala. That wouldn't be too bad for him. It'd be good for him, in fact. Then he's got Gisela and Thalia to finish me off, which they're totally capable of. Brings me down to 8. He goes up to 19. And I assume he's just deciding what he's going to do with Nahiri. Personally, I would, I already said, I would exile Linvala. But, let's see what opponent opts for. If this is a creature, oh man, the blowouts with collective effort. Now he just gets rid of my angel token and I lose. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. Nahiri. And he had a fiery temper. Wow, this is... No, we're done. We out. Okay. Well, you can't win them all. That's being game 2 with white-black enchantment control. I'll see you in the next video.